Hi everyone, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're located. So it's me, your girl again, Omomi Odonto, and I want to say welcome to my channel. Welcome once again to everyone that has been watching us, and to everyone that has subscribed to this channel. I want to say thanks to you. Yeah, so I've brought something wonderful and beautiful onto you, and yeah, do you know what we'll be doing? Suspense. Yeah, we'll be going into a series, and it's basically tagged wisdom from books. Wisdom from books. Yeah, so one of the things I'm doing at the moment is reading up. Yeah, so you've got the privilege to actually be like a first-hand listener, like first-hand person to get the info or the wisdom or the lessons that I've been able to like garner from those books. Yeah, so one of the books that I'm reading at the moment is Magic of Thinking Big. Yeah, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Stewart. Yeah. So I hope I've not bothered the name anyways. However, the book is a wonderful book. The book is really wonderful. I don't want to bore you with my gist, with my talk. Let's just dive in. Let's dive into what I've learned. Yes. What's that word again? Excusitis. No, me talk like a British. Excusitis. Yeah, excusitis. Yeah, so anyways, excusitis, and yeah, that's one concept that I've learned. There was a way it actually hit me like yeah, so it hit me so bad, like yeah, the more I'm reading, the more I'm thinking, why have I not read this book? You know, why have I not read this book when I was in my 20s? You know, seriously, I'm just thinking, oh, Umi, you've probably not because I wouldn't regret. I wouldn't say that I've wasted my time because I usually read, but then I had a long break at the time. I wasn't into reading, and another thing I was doing then was to read more of like spiritual books and all. And don't get me wrong, spiritual books are fantastic, they are great books as well, but you know, with time I noticed that I haven't actually been living like a balanced life, so I started looking out for other things, other books to actually read as well, when it comes to finances, when it comes to life generally, when it comes to health, when it comes to raising kids, when it comes to marriage, you know, just finding that balance in everything. So what is excusitis? David actually defined it as, you know, a state of mind. Now I'm breaking it down to my own understanding of the book. Like, it's the state of mind that you are in, that everything you want to do is to give excuses for all your failures. Everything you want to do is to actually not bear responsibilities and shift responsibilities. It's sort of like a blame game thing. Can you relate to that? Let me break it down again. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm probably wretched because I have no helper. Now, does that ring a bell? For every believers on this platform, do you remember that man that was by the pool of Bethsaida? Saying is, oh, before I could even get into the pool, another person would have gone before me, and all of that. It's something like that. Like, Jesus Christ was trying to like get across to him, let me heal you, but the next thing is coming up with excuse me, I don't have any strength. Like, before I can even say I've walked, like crawl to the side of the pool, another person has gone in, and the other person has actually received the miracle before me. And that is just an example of a blame game excusitis person, you know. Another excuse we come up with is intelligence. It's probably because he or she is more intelligent. That's why he's actually getting the higher band jobs. You know, it could be anything. It can be wealth. It can be money. You're thinking, oh, the reason why you cannot do this is because the reason why you cannot do this is because you don't have the money. Come on now. I tell you, there are 1001 excuses on earth. Yes, there are 1001 excuses for us not to do something, and if you look at it, it's the last day of the first quarter of the year. Yes. Do you remember those things that you wrote, those resolutions that you wrote, those plans and goals for 2024 that you wrote? Do you even remember the ringing tone when we started this year? If you forgot it, let me play it for you.
I know go green, oh, I know go green, oh, I know go green, oh yes, I know go green, oh, I know go green.
Yes, that is what we are talking about. Do you remember how you mentioned that you know go green and all of that? What happened at the third month? Are you still green? Are you green? Or you've actually put aside the things that are not allowing you to achieve, or that wouldn't allow you to achieve the plans and goals that you set for yourself? Reading the book has actually made me to understand that it's enough of excuses. 5 things that I've learned from the second chapter, Exercises. Number 1 is recondition yourself for success. For some people, they've actually all over their lives, they've been exposed to negative words, they've been exposed to things that have actually pulled down their self-esteem, and there is a need for a lot of unlearning, a lot of relearning to actually do for them, a lot of reconditioning to actually do for them to be able to embrace their growth, their process, to be able to embrace the fact that they are good. Their situations do not determine what their output should be. So number 1 is recondition yourself for success. So how do you recondition yourself? For people that you've been battered, you've been told a whole lot of times that you cannot be successful, I would suggest that you actually come to a place, you actually come to a place of acknowledging that you are more than enough. Okay, so I think it is highly important, if you are going through the reconditioning process, for you to, number 1, embrace the fact that that is not who you are. Embrace the fact that the perception of people about you does not matter. What things are said, what people have said, the things they have said concerning you do not define who you are. What defines who you are is, number 1, God, who is your creator, and yourself as well. You determine who you are. You determine who you would be. So I think that it is really important that as a person, if one of the things that comes to your mind is, Uncle like they've actually told me that I cannot be successful. Who told you that? Who is the person that said it when God has not said it? Please do not agree with them. Do not agree with them. Do not agree with negative statements that has been said concerning your life. It is time for you to hold on to your destiny, because you are the one that will will yourself. You will drive yourself to the place of fulfillment by the things you do. So please recondition your mind, recondition yourself to know that yes, you are more than enough, to know that you can as well be successful. Then another thing that I want to tell you is, get words from God, get words from the scripture that would help you to be able to see yourself in the light in which God is seeing you. The scripture says that before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew you. He predestined you for a purpose. So get scripture. Know that you were not born for a mistake. You were not born. It doesn't matter how you were given birth to. Know that you can as well be a successful person. Know that you can as well be the light that God has called you to be. So please get words from the scriptures. Constantly reaffirm it to yourself over and over again. I know it can be a lot of work, but please ensure that every morning before you leave your home, ensure that you read those reaffirmations. You reaffirm yourself again, such that by the time you go out there, when people are trying to tear you down, you don't allow yourself to be torn down. So another thing that you can do to be able to recondition yourself as a successful person is have a mentor, a role model, a successful role model as well. A successful role model as well. It can be in parenting, it can be in anywhere, in any field. Make sure that you actually have somebody that you are modeling after. I'm not talking about a coach now. A coach is good, but I'm talking about a mentor that would have time for you, a mentor that you can always call on to at any point in time and say, hello, I actually need this. I think I'm stuck about this, and the mentor can say, okay, do this, do that, do that. Do not underestimate your own intelligence, because that's sometimes what we do. We think, it's probably because I'm a dumb, or it's probably because I'm an average person. I've actually been having average grades since I was young. And then you think your intelligence is really low, and you think the intelligence of the other person that seems as if the person is achieving much is high. I don't think so. I think what every successful person has actually done is to work upon their weaknesses, and to project more of their talent out, which is what I actually say. An important thing we should do is to look out for our talent. Look on to your inward and look out for your strength. Everybody has got their own strength. There's something called SWOT: your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You can do a SWOT analysis. Do a SWOT analysis of your life. Look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, look at the opportunities that you have, and look at the things that might appear as a threat to you. And work upon your strength, work upon your weakness rather. Project your strength out. So basically that's that. When it comes to intelligence, I don't think there's one person. Fine, people are on different IQ rates, IQ scores. People are on different IQ scores. However, it does not matter what your IQ scores say. That does not determine your future. What determines your future is God and yourself. I think that you're actually too old. One of the things that you can do is to start practicing the feeling of how you can look younger. And one of the ways you can do it is as a guy, get onto the gym. In fact, it doesn't matter the gender. Get onto the gym. Sometimes I will drag my husband and say, okay, let's go to Pension Monument. Let's go and walk over there. Let's have a walk. So you can actually do that. Have a feeling of do exercises that will make you have a feeling of you appearing younger. Get your manicure done, get your pedicure done. As a guy, you can do it as well. Make sure that you shave yourself. Be on a neat shave all the time. And if you have like a big tummy, for instance, there is a cure, by the way, coming up that I've just discovered. It's called, anyway, don't let me say anything about it. Don't let me say anything about it yet. However, these things are not things that we cannot work upon. Especially when you're thinking that you are actually old. What are the things making you feel that you are old? Are you the one saying it, or is it how others are perceiving you to be? So I think it's really important. If you are the ones thinking you are old, I think there is a lot of work for you to do. Start doing all those things that I've just mentioned for you to actually have a feeling of being young. Then if it is that you feel that you're too young to actually do something, I tell you what, nobody is too young. David in the book was mentioning about somebody that was just appointed, probably like a managerial role, and he had many people, or elderly people, that were working for him. And at the time, the guy was really The guy didn't know how to cope with the elderly people, and David said they asked him that, wait, do you think the person that gave you this role didn't know your age before he gave you the role? If you were not able to, if you wouldn't be able to deliver, he wouldn't have given you the role in the first place. And it's still the same thing. If God had seen you that you would not be able to deliver onto the purpose that He has given unto you, do you think He would have given you the purpose in the first place? No. Scripture says that He gave the talent to everyone according to their own capabilities. So you've got your own capability. So whatever thing that God has given unto you, it is according to your own capability. So please, when it comes to age is not a restriction. The 3 things that I've learned from the book is live until you die. And I think that's a very strong thing, especially for people. And I don't mean to come across as somebody that doesn't have empathy. I know that these are physical disabilities that could actually hinder them from achieving what they would have loved to achieve. But I think something actually struck across to me more, and it was last year or 2 years ago. I was at a graduation, and I saw somebody that was on the wheelchair doing her own graduation as well. And personally, I was really impressed and inspired by that, because you would obviously see that this person has got her own disability, that will live a life until we die. Remind yourself that your life is worth it. Remind yourself that your life is worth it. Sometimes I ask myself that if I am to die tomorrow, what would I be doing today that would be different? What would I be doing today that would be different? So the 4th thing that I actually learned from the book is stop thinking I should have started years ago. Stop thinking that you should have started something years ago. Stop thinking you don't have the time again to do it, or it's actually too late. It is not too late. And I think this goes hand in hand with the age restriction thing. It is not actually too late for you to start it. I remember when I came into the UK newly, and I was like, I should have actually been I should have actually come to this UK years ago, But then, my time is my time. Everybody's time is different, So don't ever think that it is too late for you to venture into things. That thing that you want to do now, that exam that you want to do now, that master class that you want to enroll yourself in now, that personal development plan that you want to draw out for yourself, now it's time for you. It is time for you to actually draw them out. It is time for you to draw it out right now. Then the thing that I learned is don't be a wishful thinker. Don't be a wishful thinker. And I think that most of us, especially African, actually fall under this. We just wish. Oh my goodness, we just wish. Sometimes you just think about a car dropping in your garage, in your garage, and you're thinking, oh, let a manna just drop from heaven and all of that. Don't be a wishful thinker. And I personally feel that one of the things that has made damages to us more than it's good is this saying, like, what will be will be. I stand to differ. What will be will not be until you let it be. Until you let it be, what will be will not be. Whatsoever that is meant to be has to do with you doing it. Every result, there has been an input over time to every result. So I will round up this video with a particular story that stuck with me. I think I heard about the story when I was in my teenage period from one of our pastors in church, and he mentioned about 2 people that went to an herbalist. They asked the herbalist, what exactly are we supposed to become? And the herbalist looked at A and said, oh, you will be a very great king. You will be a wonderful king. And he looked at B, and he told the B, he said, the poverty that is coming out from you, from your destiny. I've never seen this kind of gigabytes before. I've never seen this kind of poverty, before. So it told A you will be excellent, it told B you will be poor and all. But the both of them went. When the both of them went, the A that was told that he would be an excellent person, who would be rich, mentioned to himself, oh, of course, it's time for me to enjoy. He sat back and relaxed, because as for me, they have already told him that you will be an excellent person, and you just feel that so far God has written it is in your destiny that you will be an excellent person. Yeah, things will just fall in place. So he sat back and he didn't do anything. However, the other person that had been informed, okay, you will be a poor person. The story went us that the person went to another town and he started farming. He was into farming until a time came that there was a drought